alcanzaron una.
America just lost a multi-billion-dollar industry. And the shocking part? Nobody saw it coming. While Washington celebrated tariffs as a win for American manufacturing, Japan's biggest automakers were quietly packing their bags. Not with press releases, not with warnings, just silence. And now, the damage is done. Welcome to Global Top Stories, where we uncover the stories reshaping our world. Here's what's really happening. In early 2025, Subaru dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the auto industry. Their Lafayette, Indiana plant, one of America's pride and joy facilities, would stop producing the Outback. Their best-selling model, gone. But here's where it gets worse. They weren't just cutting back. They were moving production back to Japan, specifically to serve the Canadian market. Why? 2 words: Trump's tariffs. The numbers are brutal. Japanese automakers now face tariffs as high as 49% on vehicles made in Japan and sold to America. Let that sink in. Nearly half the value of every car wiped out by fees before it even reaches a dealer lot. And it's not just imports taking the hit. Even cars assembled in America are suffering because they rely on parts from overseas. 25% tariffs on steel, aluminum, and auto parts have made building cars in the US more expensive than ever. The result? Japanese automakers are hemorrhaging $25 billion every single year. Toyota alone is losing nearly half of that, $12 billion every year. For suppliers and workers across Japan and America, this isn't just business news, it's survival. As one Japanese supplier put it, "We're not innovating anymore, we're just trying to endure." But here's what the headlines aren't telling you. Subaru's move wasn't an isolated retreat. It was the first domino. Giants like Toyota and Honda are now following suit. Mazda, Mitsubishi, even smaller players are redrawing their entire North American strategy, and they're all heading in one direction: north. Canada isn't just welcoming them, it's rolling out the red carpet. Why Canada? 3 reasons that Washington completely overlooked. First, trade stability. Canada has a free trade agreement with Japan through the CPTPP framework. That means 0 tariffs, 0 surprises, 0 policy whiplash. While the US plays tariff roulette, Canada offers something far more valuable: predictability. Second, smart infrastructure. Ontario already hosts 7 Japanese automotive plants, 5 building vehicles, 1 making engines, another focused on trucks. They're backed by a network of suppliers and engineering firms that support over 30,000 jobs directly, with thousands more connected indirectly. Third, history proves it works. This isn't Canada's first rodeo. Back in the 1980 seconds, when Reagan imposed voluntary export restraints that acted like a 60% tariff, Honda and Toyota responded the exact same way. They built massive plants in Ontario, Honda in 1984, Toyota in 1986, and it transformed Canada into what economists called North America's industrial backdoor. 40 years later, history is repeating itself. Except this time, the stakes are much, much higher. And here's where this story goes global. It's not just Japanese automakers anymore. European companies? Watching closely. South Korean manufacturers? Already making moves. They're all using the same playbook: stay close to American consumers, but avoid American chaos. Toronto, once known primarily for banking and finance, is now becoming a nerve center for automotive logistics and export management. Companies are treating Canada like a strategic launchpad, using its network of trade agreements to reach markets worldwide without getting trapped in tariff wars. But the real game changer is happening beneath the surface, literally. Canada sits on massive reserves of lithium, nickel, and cobalt, the exact minerals needed for electric vehicle batteries. Japan's EV supply chain is now merging with Canada's mineral ecosystem in Ontario and Quebec. What was once just about cars is now about the entire clean energy transition. Analysts are calling it a structural reset of global trade. Canada, the country often dismissed as America's quiet neighbor, is becoming a bridge economy. Stable, open, and increasingly indispensable to both East and West. Every tariff wall America builds, Canada gains another strategic advantage. Every time Washington turns inward, the global supply chain learns to route around it. And that detour keeps ending in Canada. So what does this mean for the United States? Let's be clear. Companies aren't leaving out of spite. They're leaving because unpredictability has become the most expensive cost of all. When you combine layered tariffs on parts and finished vehicles, the final cost of a car can more than double. For multinational corporations operating on thin margins, that math doesn't work. It can't work. The tariffs designed to bring manufacturing back to American soil have done the exact opposite. They've made domestic production more expensive than building the same cars across the border. And American consumers? They're the ones paying the price. Not just for new vehicles, but for everyday essentials. Tires, brake pads, oil filters. All of it tied to imported parts facing new tariffs. Prices are climbing, and they're not coming down anytime soon. Meanwhile, the jobs that were supposed to return to Detroit, to Indiana, to Ohio, they're materializing in Ontario instead. Here's what Washington missed. In today's interconnected world, you can't force loyalty through tariffs. You can't bully multinational corporations into ignoring basic economics. What companies need isn't proximity, it's predictability. They need to know the rules won't change overnight. They need partners they can trust for decades, not just election cycles. Canada understood this. While America played hardball, Canada played the long game. Steady trade policy, long-term partnerships, no surprises. And it's paying off in ways that go far beyond the auto industry. If this trend continues, the next waves could come from electronics, renewable energy, advanced manufacturing, any industry where consistency and clarity matter more than political slogans. Japan has already charted its path, Europe is watching, Asia is taking notes. The question isn't whether other industries will follow, it's when. So here's the uncomfortable truth. The road America is building with tariffs and trade wars might just lead to its own economic detour. Japan's automakers didn't abandon America because they wanted to. They left because they had to. And unless something changes dramatically in Washington's approach, they won't be the last. Canada isn't winning because it's aggressive. It's winning because it's reliable. And in an era of chaos and uncertainty, reliability might be the most valuable currency of all. This is Global Top Stories, bringing you the news that matters. What do you think about this shift? Will America change course, or will more industries follow Japan north? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis opened your eyes to what's really happening in the global economy, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're tracking these stories as they develop, and trust me, this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.